Welcome to Mommy Mia Media, a podcast by moms for moms.
Hey guys, welcome back to Mommy Mia. I actually got dressed today, as you can see.
I didn't.
I mean,
just rolled out of bed.
Sometimes we do that. I mean, I actually, I put my mom shirt on. I was ready to go today.
Your makeup, you're clean.
I did. I put a little bit of makeup on today. I usually don't, but I was feeling good. I don't know.
You look good.
Thanks. I feel good. I'm excited that you're back. It was kind of weird doing the podcast alone last week. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I'm sorry. I missed it though. I really did.
I missed you as well. It was just kind of strange.
Was calling.
I was jealous, as I said. I went to work last week, so this was my second week back. It was nice. Kind of get back in the swing of things. So for me right now, it's just juggling the housework. Yeah. Right now I have tons of laundry. What you can't see is that my room is full of laundry. I have to get done. I still have to organize a million things, as you know. Like, it's never done. I always to reorganize after I organize.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's a process.
Every time I come home from vacation, I have to make sure my house is clean so I can actually relax when I get home. But before I leave, there's mountains of clothes everywhere. I'm trying to figure out laundry, and it becomes a disaster. So then I'm frantically packing and then cleaning all before leaving on vacation. So by the time I get to vacation, it's needed.
No, absolutely. And then when did you get back? Did you get back on Father's Day, or?
We got back the Friday before Father's Day.
So what did you end up doing for Father's Day for Ian?
Oh, well, Father's Day was a lot of fun. We kind of just hung out at home, and we had some family over. So I had my in-laws, and then my sister and her family came over. We laid around in our hillbilly pool, and my brother-in-law smoked some meat for us, and we...
That's not what I thought you were going to say.
No, we had a lot of food, we had a lot of fun, and it was kind of just a relaxed day. So Ian actually got the day off, and we just chilled and hung out with family, so it was a good time.
That does sound good. Did he get him anything?
No.
No?
My present's enough is his present.
There you go.
No, we're not big on gifts unless it's like random gifts. Like, it's kind of like, oh, I bought this for you because I saw it at the store and thought of you type things. Whereas when it comes to holidays, we just prefer to do things together or spend time together rather than trying to worry about a gift. But our presents, like I said, like I posted it the other day. His present to me was the Dirt Devil slippers.
Oh, yes. Those are awesome.
But, it actually is funny, and it makes me love my husband just because he's
I wonder if I have a picture of that I can show to people. I think I still have that. Let me see if I can pull it up.
I know I posted it on the Mommy Mia Media Facebook page.
Did you?
Yeah.
That is awesome. Let me see
it's
here.
The thought that counts. He was very excited about them. It was like a joke for him. He wasn't like saying I need to go put them on my feet and clean the house, but he was just laughing about it. And he came home, he's like, I bought these for you.
I don't know if they can see this or not. Let's see. You can kind of see them in there, but...
The funny thing is I'll never end up wearing them, but my kids, especially Lawson, he'll be like sliding around the floor like he's Tom Cruise.
That's awesome. See, so I wanted to get Casey a gift, and I tried to like put some thought into it. So he's just one of those people who's hard to buy for. He's one of those people who whatever he wants, he buys when he wants it.
Right.
So...
Well, and it's like, technically like the first Father's Day with his daughter.
It was exciting. So I did put like a little, sappy Facebook post out there. I mean, he's always been a great bonus dad to Nat.
Yes.
But it was his first official Father's Day with Amelia, which it was awesome. Like, we just kind of had a chill, relaxed day. We didn't do anything too extravagant. We had some friends over and grilled out and just hung out for a little bit, and then had to get back into the swing of things the next day. But I wanted to get him something, but I wanted to do something extravagant because he always gets me extravagant gifts. Like,
you guys are good gift givers.
We try, but at the same time,
I've got toilet seat covers and Dirt Devil slippers. You guys are good gift givers.
I don't know so here's my thing. I always get him clothes for his favorite sports team, or I always get him like Star Wars, you know what I mean? Like the things that he likes. He's like the gamer, like not nerdy, but kind of nerdy. I love him though. He's actually our AV guy. He helps us.
What did he call himself today? Our equipment manager?
Yes, our equipment manager.
Shout out to Casey.
Yes. I mean, you want to talk about good husbands. He is definitely a good husband. We've talked about Casey before, but he's always helping us out. But I wanted to get him a grill, and when I was going to get him one, I'm like, I don't know which one he wanted, and he mentioned a Traeger. I don't know if this is a fad or if it's just a quality. I don't know. We'll see. But he was like, no, we should like wait, and that's expensive because, you know, I don't know. He wants whatever the grill smoker. I don't know what it is. Like,
Some fancy cooker.
Some fancy cooker. I'm like, hey, if it gets him to cook more dinners than me, I'm down.
100%.
But if he didn't want that, he wanted this. It's kind of like a toolbox. Like, it has tool chest at the bottom. It has like a bench, and then it has some shelving up top. Oh. And he wants it for storage within the garage, so that way he can get our garage a little bit organized because...
It'd be a benefit for both.
Yes, it is. So I'm kind of like... Yeah, I definitely think that we should invest in this. And I was going to buy it for him, but he wouldn't allow me because he was like, it's just too expensive and our garage is messy. And I'm like, our garage is messy because we don't have anything to store it.
It's a vicious cycle.
It is. And I'm like, it's worth the investment. Our garage and our basement are where things go to die. Like, it's just, we have to get it organized. It's awful. But that's a whole another thing. But I did end up getting him a blanket with pictures of us. Yeah, I should. It's cute. I like it a lot. It is a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be, and Casey's terrified of actually using the blanket because it's white, which I get, but I think it'd be hard to put it on a different color blanket.
Yeah, it might look a little weird.
Right. In terms of that, how was vacation?
Well, vacation was good, and I shouldn't say that. Like, vacation was a lot of fun. We had a lot of time with some very special friends and family. They were able to visit with us while we were there. So we had a great time in the moments that like weren't going wrong.
Right.
But
it was Gabe's birthday too, right?
Yes, it was Gabe's birthday. And so every year for his birthday, his favorite place to go is Hooters. So
good mom.
He loves going to Hooters, and number one, he's a huge foodie, so he really is like into the wings, but he really, you know, doesn't mind the fact that they come over and they sing happy birthday to him and his face goes red and he gets all embarrassed, but he loves every second of it. So that's always a fun time for all of us. So we celebrated that, and actually his uncle, my brother-in-law, they were close by in a neighboring town, so they actually drove in and we had an afternoon with them, my in-laws, so it was a good time. We had some really special moments, but we also had it was a weird vacation. I just felt like things that could go wrong kind of did go wrong. My son, like, he's very pale skinned, but got a severe sunburn the second day, and like this is after us applying nonstop lotion and spray to him, so I'm kind of thinking it was the brand, but it's the second year that's happened, and I'm just like, what the world? But he got really badly burned.
Oh,
and then, so the rest of the time we were looking for things to do that were fun, but not necessarily outdoors, or at least out of the sun. So we found Ripley's mini golf. Have you ever heard of it or gone to it?
I've heard of, like, I know Ripley's has a ton of different chains. Like, they have the
I'm not
aquariums
gonna lie,
and museums.
Highly recommend. Number one, it's indoor mini golf.
Where did you guys stay again?
Myrtle Beach.
Okay.
So the Ripley's mini golf in Myrtle Beach, it's amazing. And it's all like black light and Alice in Wonderland type themes almost. Like they have the big clocks and
cool.
It's just all neon lights, but every hole is something different. So you get to like play real mini golf, or there's some that are like you have to play pool on, or my kid's favorite was a giant toilet bowl.
I bet. Is that Lawson or Gabe?
Gabe, and then Lawson's probably would be the zip line. There's a zip line one where you actually like lean back in a zip line and have to like drop the ball like next to the hole and then you putt it. So that was really cool. But I highly recommend that. It's fun for all ages. Like we had a plethora of ages with us, plus we saw other families there, and it was like young child to grown, adult. So it was a good time. We did that. We really just wanted to have a nice relaxing beach vacation, but really it ended up being trying to find other fun things. So we kind of had a little adventures and just enjoyed spending time with the family. That vacation for us is not where we go, it's how we spend time together, because even if we spend time at home, you're never actually relaxed because you're thinking about all the jobs you have to do. Like, oh, my grass needs mowed. Oh, I have to go paint that. I have to do that.
You can't turn that off. No.
I know. So on vacation, at least, it's like, okay, my husband and I get very slim time together. So when we're on vacation, we try to like take every last second we can together. So coming back from vacation, our routine has been off. He's been working doubles. My kids are like gone because they have better social lives than I do.
That's the same way. She hasn't been home like all week. Like every night's been something different. Like, can I stay here? Can this person stay the night? I'm like,
right. It's a revolving door. They're either in or out, and we're the chauffeurs.
And the thing is like, I mean, she's been staying with she stayed with grandma. She stayed with her uncle, with her cousins. She stayed with my sister. Then my niece had stayed over. It's just been, and she still has even more plans. Like she'll be going on vacation herself with her dad here next weekend for the 4th of July. And then in addition to that, it's like we will be going somewhere at some point, hopefully. Maybe as like a little weekend trip.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That would be nice.
It'll be interesting because it'll be like a nice like mini vacation. I mean, we took the baby to Tennessee, but that was to visit family. Right. And I would like to try to do like a little
that'll be nice.
Not staycation, but you know what I mean, somewhere
just
locally.
Some moments together.
Yeah,
that's exactly. That quality time. Yes. I feel like not enough. There's a lot of days that go by that we don't get that quality time. So, and I just keep feeling lately that my kids are just growing up so fast. Like even coming over here today and seeing the baby after being a week on vacation, she's grown so much. And I'm like, what? I needed to know, like, what did I miss?
So it is so weird that you say that because she's 2 months now. I took her to her 2-month appointment, which she, they do their second, like their vaccines at 2 months.
Aww.
So she got some shots and I felt awful, but at the same time, it's
sad, but sorry.
Yeah, I was like feeling bad, like as a mom. And then in addition to that, like, I just feel like overnight she went from looking like an infant to like a newborn to like a baby. You know what I mean? She got so chunky.
Grown.
And I'm just like, don't go so fast. It just kills me.
I promise you, the time is flying by.
Well,
I just can't. Our 12-year-olds are going to be like, I think about them driving.
Oh,
I think about college.
Even.
Gabe the other day was like, Mom, have you started thinking about what my first car is going to be? And I'm like, yeah, actually I have, but first I'm thinking about the braces you're gonna get. Like, I'm not trying to rush this. Like, we're still here. You're still in middle school.
You're also a planner like I am. You're like anticipating the future, which I completely understand.
I've been thinking about getting my kid a debit card. Like one of the kids.
I thought about that too.
Like, we have access, we see everything. Like, one for young adults, but I want him to learn that, like, here's the money that you earned, buy what you will or save it, whatever you want to do, but like, you've got to start, like, I've given you the fundamentals, I want you to start figuring it out, because I feel like sooner than later, like, they are going to be working, and they do need to know this stuff. And
they need to know how to manage money,
yes,
too.
But
like,
I also
I feel...
don't want to give my kid a card.
I know. Well, I mean, I felt the same way about a phone.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things, but I don't know. Has anybody... I would be interested to hear if other people have done that, because I was thinking the same thing. Because Natalie, I mean, she'll be going on vacation with her dad, and I'm like, I want her to have access to money.
Right.
Not because he can't provide, but like if she wanted to have like a little bit of spending money on vacation, she could do that. But of course, it would be like something like, I'm going to, not so much Venmo, but transfer money to you.
This is what you have.
Yeah, and it's going to be essentially like above and beyond what you should be doing. Like, I'm not going to pay you to clean your room or to take your dog out.
Right.
But at the same time,
if you're earning it, you're doing your chores.
Well, I mean, she helps out with the baby when she doesn't have to.
And I mean, above and beyond.
Above and beyond.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Because she's a great big sister, and she even offers to help change diapers.
She's so sweet.
But I'm like, she offers to babysit her sister. Yeah. She also is helping with some like house plants for her uncle's house.
Oh, that's so nice. She's a good girl. We got very lucky with our kiddos.
We did. She has an attitude sometimes,
that's
but
just the age.
It is the age. That's why I keep telling myself, and if what the rumors are said are true, I'm kind of worried. Because I'm like, if it gets worse with age, I'm screwed. Yeah. But I'm actually going to go get Bella outside real quick. All right, so how to get Bella inside. As you can see, she's up here visiting Lindsay. So we actually just got a fence, which you had checked out, and I'm so freaking thankful. But at the same time, it's been interesting. So we always wanted a fence when we moved in because we already had Zeus.
Yeah.
But with Bella, especially being a pit bull, she's a little bit more intimidating than, say, our Maltese, even though I personally believe little dogs are a little bit more vicious. Like,
personal experience there.
But, I mean, Zeus is a sweetheart, but Bella, I mean, you know, she barks and it sounds aggressive. And when we had first moved in, we were like, oh, well, we'll just get an invisible fence for now, which I just kind of didn't really use it as much as I thought I would, unfortunately. And she didn't respond. I always feel bad for shocking them. Yeah. Like, I know that some people are like, oh, it's, you know, minor, but I'm like, I don't know. But with her, now that we got the fence, like, she loves sunbathing, and I knew that she'd be outside sunbathing.
Her little plump self.
Yes, she will go outside and just lay on the deck and basically be out there, and I'll put like a water ball out there, and she'll be good for most of the day.
She loves
it.
But
I will say on Father's Day weekend, she scared the crap out of the neighbors because they were outside enjoying their new deck.
Oh, no.
And they have 2 little dogs, and probably about the size of Zeus, and you know, they came outside and started barking at her, so her initial reaction is to bark back. And of course, she like shrieks or screams, like she's like, "Roar!" You know what I mean? Like this high-pitched squeal. I don't even know how to explain it. But it was just funny. So we had to actually like go and bring her inside. And ever since then, she's been this nosy neighbor. She will just stand out there and just like dare them to come outside. Like, I actually have a picture of it, I think, because Casey like looked at our Vivint camera to see if she was outside because she lays in the same spot.
Yes.
And she like literally will have her snout in between like the 2 panels. Like, it's awful. I want to see if I actually have that picture so you can see it. I don't think I showed you.
She's like, I'm locked up.
She's just like, come outside. I want to play. Like, I don't know if because she probably genuinely does want to play. She's a big lover. I mean, she gets her along with Zeus. Like, they play. She
might be intimidating, but she's funny.
She is hilarious, though. Like, let me see. I am trying to find this picture for those of you who are on YouTube and are watching. You can actually see it. It is so pixelated. I don't know if you can see that, but like it's very pixelated, but she is laying over there just watching the neighbor's house. And
she's a nosy Karen.
She is a nosy neighbor, like, named Karen. She just is out there just staring into the abyss. And this one, he can slide right through it. So he's my little escape artist. Actually, the first night we had...
So you got the fence for the dogs, but the fence doesn't hold the dog.
Well, she could probably almost push it over because it's vinyl.
Yeah.
It's HOA standard for us to have the white picket vinyl fencing.
It's pretty.
It's pretty, but I will say not a huge fan of living in an HOA. It has its pros and cons like anything. But that has been an interesting dynamic with her because she has a lot of muscle. She's a plump girl, but she is muscular as well. So it kind of shakes a little bit if she hops up on it. And he can slide right through it. So the first night we actually had the fence up, I let him out and I thought we lost him forever because it had just started raining and that first boom of thunder hit. And they don't like thunder at all.
Well,
so she immediately beelines to the door.
Mm-hmm.
She's let me inside, don't like the thunder. And I went to let her in and I turned around and he's gone. He was right behind her and he's gone. So I was maybe he went under the deck to see cover. So I walked down after letting her in. And I mean, we're talking seconds, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm looking. I can't find him under the deck. I can't find him in the yard. I thought maybe he went under the stairs. I'm trying to use my flashlight because it's later in the evening. Yeah. Can't find him. So I literally go out front. I'm thinking that he got out. I can't see him in my neighbor's yard, nothing. I drive around the neighborhood. Can't find him anywhere. And I'm
devastating.
Oh my gosh, it's about to pour. My dog does not like the rain. He's probably seeking shelter under somebody's deck if he did get out or my own. And then Casey goes out back and he's right here. So I'm thinking I'm going crazy this entire time. And it wasn't until the next day I'm he must have gone out. I can't be that crazy because I know I checked everywhere for this dog. And I literally was watching him, and as I'm watching him, he just goes to the very corner post, looks back at me, and goes through the slats just with ease because he's tiny. And I'm great, so we're going to have to put some chicken wire or something up to contain them. But I'm we put this investment in mainly for our dogs to stay in.
Yeah, I understand that.
But
I'm happy that I don't have to have a fence anymore for our dogs.
Yeah, that's true.
Number one, we wouldn't have probably 3 dogs again if we had to live somewhere where we had to have a fence. Because the only reason we have 3 dogs right now is just because it's easy. They go outside, they're easily trained, they come back in. And if they do get lost, we can typically catch up to them. Or they go to the same spots.
I'd be scared to have dogs though, because you also have seen a mountain lion or something.
There are. So there's it's not a mountain lion, it's a bobcat.
That's what it is. I couldn't remember.
There's right now with the problem that we're having, and we watch our dogs very well when we're outside, but they do get to wander farther. But we've trained them to where they have to see us, and I say puppies check in, and it's really cute because they'll run back to the door and check in, even if I'm inside and they're outside. I'll open the door and I'll say puppies check in, and then I close the door and I go back to what I was doing, and I'll look over a couple minutes later and they're all sitting there hey, we're checking in.
That's so funny.
Ian hates it. He's it's the most annoying thing. I'm what? It's so cute. You're telling your puppies to check in. He was or you could just beep them because they have the e-collars on.
Oh yeah.
I'm no, it's a lot cuter to call them puppies and have them come.
That is cute.
But we have, what we're worried about right now is our neighbor let us know the other day that she's had some instances where she's had some raccoons that aren't acting right, and her husband thinks it might be distemper. So we have to really watch our animals right now to make sure they're not eating any feces or having these feral raccoons come in and attack them, because that's the problem is they're coming out during the day.
So, are you sure that's not rabies?
No, we think it's distemper, the way that they act.
Interesting.
But it's, not good if your dog gets it. There's no coming back from it. So
we wouldn't want that for our fur babies at all. So,
and we're also really watching the chickens right now too. But I will say, Ian, being the good husband that he is, he built me the Taj Mahal of chicken coops. So they have a very secure, fenced in all the way around, but it's large enough that I can continue adding chickens to it if needed. which I've already done, but I don't need any more for now. We're at 15, so.
And counting.
No, I'm done for a while.
It's okay. I don't collect animals like you, but I have been collecting baby deer lately.
Baby deer, okay.
Not deer, gear.
Oh.
I was like, hold on. You're
No.
like, speaking of deer.
I have to tell you, okay, so a little bit back on the vacation, the people that we vacation with sometimes, like, we don't know them personally outside of vacationing, but because we go to the same condo every single year, we've met this family that is from about an hour and a half southeast of us. And so we met them a couple years back on vacation, and like now we've just vacationed at the same time at the same resort as them. And they live down on a farm, and they are expecting baby goats.
Aww.
So I'm waiting for the picture for when they're born, because somehow on vacation I got Ian drunk enough at least to say yes. He keeps saying maybe, but he said maybe for the chickens.
We should do baby goat yoga. Like, I would totally do that.
I am very excited to get these goats, and it's going to be the same thing. It's just going
We
to
also need a mini cow. For all of those,
It's
if we
happening.
get, I don't know, what would you say? Your husband would say, like 5,000 likes and subscribers.
No, he would still tell us no, but we'll just do it
10,000.
anyways.
We'll, if we get 5,000 votes, or likes and subscribes, on YouTube and Spotify, and we should be getting Apple Podcasts loaded. We're
getting the baby goats.
No, you're already getting the baby goats. He already agreed
mini
to that.
cow.
The mini cow. So
It's
please like, share, subscribe, and follow if you are not doing so already. So Lindsay can get a mini cow, and we'll post
My Highland
pictures.
mini cow.
Yes, we'll post pictures.
Yes, please. I really want one.
Let's
My husband
convince-
might not say yes, but my motto in my marriage, I took it out of the vows. I will not obey. I take that away. So what I do is I just ask for forgiveness rather than permission.
Oh my goodness.
It
Hashtag farm life.
Baby gear, go on. I'll keep my ADD postponed.
You're fine. No, for baby gear though, like I posted this on our first official blog. So if you guys haven't checked that out, please do so. We'll have product reviews. We'll talk about mommy moments,
Yes.
both embarrassing or informational. I don't know. We'll see. But I did post a few reviews actually, because I was like, I'd love for you guys to see not only what I've actually tried personally. Like, I had so many people who were so thoughtful and gifted so many things for our baby shower that I have so many things I don't know what to do with. But it's so great because I'm starting to use them as she's getting a little bit older now. And one of my friends had recommended a sit me up chair. Like, Fisher Price has the one, that's the one I got. You guys can check out the blog for the details surrounding it, but it's essentially like a cloth chair that you can put them in, and it helps them sit up and watch things. And she's really like trying to focus on that neck stability.
Yeah.
So of course you have to small doses put her in it, but somebody recommended it and she loves it because she's getting to that point where she wants to see more than just like mom holding her, in the cradle hold.
She's very alert.
She's very alert. For being, 2 months now, she's starting to definitely, she's starting to smile, which is, oh my gosh, so heartwarming. I've been doing the ohs and ahs with her lately, and she's starting to make the coos back, which I absolutely love. And my biggest thing right now is I'm trying to get her to laugh, because that's my favorite. Aside from them getting chunky, baby laughs are
my great niece is giggling now, and it is the best thing in the world.
It's a great niece. I have one of those too,
I
and
know.
it makes me feel so old. People, I'm in my 30s.
We
I'm just a great aunt, not a great aunt.
No, we are the great aunt. That is what I always say, because I've been a great aunt for a while now, to be honest. My niece is only 1.5 years younger than I am. So we both had babies at the same time.
See, so I'm a great aunt from Casey's niece, which she is only a few years younger than him. But I'm just please don't call me
I know.
No.
But
I am a great aunt, not a great aunt.
The great aunt. It's got to be the great aunt. It's like the Ohio State University. The great aunt.
But
that is my title.
I mean, we all have to. Couldn't it be like Aunt the Great? Like,
okay, listen.
like,
I'm not even gonna lie. When my
Aunt Jen the
nephew,
Great?
whose daughter that we're talking about currently, when my nephew was little, I tried to get him to say like Aunt Lynn's or. He used to call me Aunt Lily, but a couple of times it would come out Aunt Pee Pee, and so like he's like kept that like as a joke for me this whole time. So now I'm always like the great Aunt Lindsay, and he's like, nope, it's just Aunt Pee Pee. I'm like, crap.
You will forever be known as.
Yes. I'm like, that's not sticking. We're not doing that.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
Oh.
I love like kid moments like that. Like actually I had posted a memory on my Facebook about my nephew. And it's so crazy because he'll be 17. I'll have to have my sister on the show one of these days because she's hilarious. You guys would love her. But her son is 17, about to be a senior, playing his last year of high school football. He'll be thinking about what college to go to. Yeah. But he was probably Matt's age, 11, 12 years old. And me and my sister are sitting, it was a summer day, we were sitting like in the garage or outside. And I just remember him wanting to be a part of the conversation, you know, how our kids are. They're always wanting to be involved.
Let me interject, you know?
Yeah. Let me add my 2 cents because it's so warranted. But we were talking about something and he was telling us this story. He is like, yeah, so one of my friends called this girl the H word. And we're like, oh, he called her a hoe? For what? And he's like, no, the other H word. And we're like,
oh no.
Racking our brains, like, what is the other H word? And he's like, a whore. And we're like, how do you spell whore, JJ?
Oh,
and he's like, H-O-R. We laughed.
Oh no.
We probably laughed for a good 20 minutes after that. It was just so innocent.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Say, they're innocent, but it's, my kids do that to me all the time, and I'm constantly like, what was that? Can you repeat that?
Natalie likes to use like long or large words. You know what I mean? But she uses them in the wrong context. And I'm like, what'd you just say? I can't like give an example right now off the top of my head, but she said something the other day, and I just remember like, I think you meant this, not that. Like, but I applaud her for trying. I mean.
Okay, so my 8-year-old. Now, listen, I cuss, okay? I try really hard, not on here too. I can't help it. I have the mouth of a sailor. My mother is very...
I mean, good moms use bad words or say bad words.
My mother is very embarrassed by it, but she loves me anyways. But I can't help it. It comes out. It's how I express myself. It's my passion. Well, my kids, because of it, like, we've had a conversation at a very young age. Like, listen, this is a privilege you get when you become an adult. Like, you have to earn this right to be able to cuss. Well, the other day, my son and I, my 8-year-old, we were, like, flipping through channels, and he's really big into werewolves. So we stopped on this, like, I think it was the Travel Channel, and it was, like, talking about, like, Bigfoot and werewolves and theories and stuff like that. And so we kept it on for a second. Well, then it started talking about this. It was, like, ghost stories. And this guy apparently like urinated on a gravestone and then got haunted afterwards. So I like made the comment, I was like, well, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And Lawson looked straight at me, he goes, or it could be the other thing you say. And I was like, what? And he was like, F-A-F-O. But he like said it in his F around and find out.
Oh. I was like, wait,
and I'm
what?
sitting here looking at him, I'm like, oh no, you're 8. But I was also proud, like, it's the context for me.
Well, I mean, at least we know he is understanding there's consequences to actions at 8 years old. So you're doing something right.
Oh, it just caught me by surprise. I was like, what was that?
No, absolutely.
Like, oh no. I have to watch my mouth maybe. I don't know. Probably not, but...
I mean,
they know when to use it, when not. And they, like, my son has asked for permission. Like, would he be, like, having a bad day at school, he'd get off the bus, like, Mom, can I use the P word in a sentence? And I'm like, okay. So he'd be like, I am pissed. This is what happened today.
Oh, my goodness. Natalie is at that stage right now. Everything's so dramatic. You know what I mean? She thinks that she has a boyfriend, which I don't know how to feel about that as a mom. I actually, so it's kind of hard for me because she's 11. She's almost 12.
Yeah.
She is one of those girls who wants to grow up so quickly, but at the same time I have to like kind of be like slow down.
Yeah.
You know, and I think we all were at that stage. Right. We always wanted to do things that
it's pretty
the older kids did, and I don't think that helps with like social media and stuff like that these days. No. But you know, she wants to have a boyfriend. And I'm like, I don't want to be one of those moms who it's like, no, absolutely not. I mean, if you're like that, I don't have any opposition to that. I wish I was a stricter parent, but I'm not. Like,
right.
And it's not because I want to be a friend or anything. It's just been a balancing act because sometimes, and for other moms who are out there, if you're co-parenting, it is a little bit harder if you are in this situation like myself where I do try to co-parent with her dad, and sometimes we agree on the same things, but sometimes we see
differently.
Exactly. And it's not a bad thing. You know what I mean? Sometimes we level each other out, but sometimes we agree to disagree.
Right.
And with the boyfriend thing, it's like, my dad didn't allow me to do that.
Right.
Eric is a boy, and with him, it's a little bit different. He's like, I feel, I don't know what his angle is, but for me personally, I'm like, if I make it too cliche.
Yeah.
Or is it cliche? Is that the word I'm looking for? If I make it too, where it's like, oh no, you can't do this.
If it makes you're too strict about it and make it too
taboo.
Yeah.
If you make like it becomes taboo for her. And my fear is that if I'm super strict, she's just going to do it behind my back. Right. We were all kids once, right? And maybe you weren't like me and Lindsay, but I know I was a hellion behind my parents' back sometimes.
You're saying I was a hellion?
I know you were a hellion. That's why we're friends.
I was a good kid.
Oh, yes. I can see your horns holding up that halo over there.
I'm going to plead the fifth.
But for me, it's like, if I make it taboo, she's going to just do it behind my back. I know how I am, and if the rumors are true that she's going to be like how you are, I'm praying that it's not worse than me. Like, just be me. You're fine. Like, but she's also...
She's very responsible. Like, she
is.
No.
Yes.
I really monitor, like, the friends that Gabe collects, and, like, I won't try to, like, push him away from certain people, but I will try to at least, like, give him an opinion to where it makes him think about things. Like, for instance, there was this one kid who was just, he's not a bad kid, it's just, he made Gabe feel bad about himself when he was around him. And so, like, I had to, like, bring out that fact. Like, how do you feel when you're, like, that's not a friend if they're making you feel a certain way?
Well, you have to teach your kids how to stand up for themselves and not be taken advantage of. And with Natalie, I mean, look, I'm not a fan of her having a boyfriend. But, like I said, I want to at least give her the opportunity to
make those mistakes, but not big mistakes.
Right, exactly. And it's weird because as a female mom, it's so much different than being a boy mom. Like, girl mom versus boy mom, you just have other aspects to worry about. And you can disagree with me, don't at me, it's fine. But
as your friend and a mother of boys, I'm telling you, we live two totally different lives.
Yes. Well, and my thing is it's like, I let her, so she asked if she could go to a trampoline park. Her little boyfriend invited her to go to a trampoline park with his mom and brother.
Aww.
And I was like, we just got home from Tennessee not too long ago, and she hurt herself when we were in Tennessee.
Yeah.
And then at her dad's, like, last weekend, the weekend prior, she had hurt her foot, and we think that she, like potentially may have, like, stubbed her toe, if not, like, fractured it a little bit. I'm not sure, but there's not much that they can do for it, basically, is what we found out. We can ice it and basically give her Tylenol.
Yeah.
But she she wanted to go jump, and I'm like, no, we can do something else. So we ended up going out, and we like went to eat, and they of course wouldn't talk to each other. We asked the waitress if they could have like their own little table and tipped her really well, but it was funny to kind of like from a distance watch them like interact with each other. And he's super sweet to her. Like they have like their little like conversation.
And Lindsay isn't ready for that.
And me as a mom, I'm not ready either, but he's at least respectable. He invited her over to go swimming, and I met his mom and everything prior to. Nice. And it's kind of funny because she's super cool, it seems like.
Yeah.
I could see me like being friends with her, but I'm like, how close can I get to this lady? Right. But she also,
are they gonna be this thing for a while, or
and then on top of that,
hate each other in 2 weeks?
Yeah, on top of that, like I'm watching her, and like we were talking about like she's like it's just super awkward, and I was like I completely understand. We also talked about because she has boys, how it's awkward for like me as a mother of girls to be also in this boat together, and I'm like it's just an awkward phase, and it makes me wonder like is this how our parents felt, like because I remember the first few dates that you ever had. I don't know about you, but like it had to be chaperone.
Oh yeah, my ex-boyfriend like took me out for Valentine's Day, and his dad had to drive us into the restaurant.
How old were you when you first started dating, out of curiosity?
So I wasn't
like dating, you know what I mean?
Honestly, I think I like waited a while just because like I had like guy friends. So like I wasn't interested in like dating. Like I was a bro. Like I hung out. I didn't care about dating a guy. So it wasn't until I think I was a freshman in high school that I got my like first like real boyfriend and started like dating, because I always was like, what are you supposed to do with, you can't go anywhere if you don't have a car. But then freshman year I was like, oh, that guy's hot. No, he plays soccer. Okay, we can do this.
Well, and for me, like, you always say you're air quote dating, right?
Yeah.
In like middle school.
What can you do?
I was in middle school, and I also have to take it with a grain of salt that like Natalie is going to be, and she's the youngest in her class, so she'll be like halfway through middle school this year. Like she'll be in 7th grade, just like Gabe.
Right.
And what's crazy is it's like, oh my gosh, next year she'll be in 8th, and before I know it, she'll be off to high school. But I also want her to understand, like, because I had to tell her, hey, you're still young, you have a lot of life to live. If you want to date, air quote, that's fine. You guys can hang out, whatever. But like, do I have to have the conversation with you? Because like me and her have an open line of communication, and since she's already in 6th grade, she's already kind of
You have to start having this more in depth.
Not so much matured, but she is going through that transitional that transitional phase. But they also teach it still in school to some degree. Now I also want to make sure that she's being fully educated though as well. And some people, it's like, oh man, that's really awkward. I understand. Like, as a mom, I can't imagine how awkward it must be for boys, because at least with girls, I understand. I can relate. So hopefully Ian kind of helps guide those conversations.
It is awkward, but I will say, like, we have made it very much, like you were saying, like, we don't want to make things taboo. And, like, that's how our household has been. Like, I've always openly talked about periods. I've always openly, like, my kids hear something and they're not, like, cringing. Like, oh, that's we don't want to talk about that. That's embarrassing. Like, Gabe, I've taught him, like, you keep a sweatshirt in your locker. If you see a girl who has, made a mess because her period and she needs to be notified, like, you whisper quietly, like, alone to her and give her a sweatshirt to put around her. That, like, I have had that happen to me. And so it was like, here's what my kids, my sons, I need and expect of them for that. But now that Gabe's getting into this, like, he is hitting puberty, his voice is squeaking, like, things are happening, but we just casually, like, talk about it. Like, it's not this, we're gonna have to sit down conversations. Typically when we're in the car and we're just me and him and we're chatting, and he'll be like, here's what's going on, Mom. And I'll be like, well, that's normal. Here's what to expect. And he's pretty knowledgeable at this point because it's not awkward. It's just a free flow conversation. And I'm like, sometimes I will say, like, that's normal, but talk to your dad further on that subject because he can explain it a little better. But
see, and that's the good thing. Like, I wouldn't even know how to begin to explain certain things. Like, I would, but like, I can't fully grasp it. And I'm sure that dads encounter that even with their daughters if they ever have to have that conversation.
I think the biggest thing is just like saying like that's normal, like that's what you can expect.
Well,
like,
it's
not a big deal.
That's where I'm going. Like, you know, Natalie's getting to an age where, I mean, I want her to. I'd rather her come to me.
Yes.
Than ask a fellow 11, 12, 13-year-old friend and give the wrong information.
Exactly.
So, I don't know. Aside from that, though, I think
they're growing up and we're keeping them alive, so we're doing good.
Hey, I mean, that's all I can ask for. Amelia's
they're
growing.
fed, happy, healthy, we're good.
That's where I'm at. I mean...
We're winning.
We're winning-ish. I don't know. I think that after we are, you know, wrapped up here today, I'm probably going to focus on getting my house back in order before going back to the work grind this week.
Yep.
But I
need to get into a routine that's not vacation mode.
Right. And next weekend is actually going into July, guys. I can't believe that we've actually now officially had. This will be our 4th episode, a full month of Mommy Mia.
That's awesome.
Mommy Mia Media month. So
I'm proud of us.
I am too. You know, guys, I want to really truly say thank you again. I kind of reiterated that in the last episode, but look, we might have dumb conversation, and I hope that on your drive to work or while you're laying down in the evening that you can laugh along with us. Like, sometimes we have scripted things, sometimes we kind of just wing it. It just really depends week to week.
Bullet points to keep our ADD conversations on task.
And sometimes we don't keep it to a bare minimum, but you know, we really do appreciate everybody who's liked, followed, shared, subscribed, commented. Please keep doing so. We really do want to create a community for everybody because, like I said, one of the things that I really like is talking about just various things. Yeah. Like, you guys might be facing the same thing, and if you are, let's talk about it. If you're like, hey, am I crazy? Is this something that happens to me? I'm sure that you're not alone. That's what Mommy Mia Media is all about, is moms coming together to just...
No judgment, just being moms and trying the best we can and trying to create a community.
Yeah, and you know, we're not always put together. We might even
roll out of bed.
We might have to put an unfiltered version of Mommy Mia out there because we do have to watch ourselves and edit out any slips, as you guys can probably
Mainly
see.
Me.
It is not. I also am a sailor, and that's why we got these shirts. This is why we're friends, but we do try to at least bite our tongues as best as we can. So, but thanks for joining. Again, like, subscribe, share, follow. If we get 5,000 subscribes on YouTube,
I'm getting a mini cow.
Yeah, you're getting your Highland mini cow. So, thanks for joining.
And if you're a divorce attorney, I might need you, so hit me up. Kidding.
Thanks, guys. Bye.